Need help with your homework? Mandy from Leominster asks, how do I get all that grime and dirt off my brick? No matter what I try, it doesn't work. Well, Mandy, there are different kinds of acids for getting off different kinds of stains of brick. There's one out there for you. Mix it up with water, spread it all out, rinse it off, and problem solved. You know, cleaning up masonry, bringing back the beautiful luster of a brick fireplace or an outside chimney like this, we get asked that question all the time. And there are all kinds of cleaners out there to help you bring masonry back to its original shape. For instance, a big one is front of the fireplace. I got to get rid of all that black. How do I get rid of the soot? Well, there are products out there, such as fireplace cleaners, specifically designed to get rid of soot. So look around, make sure you get, it's always the same old adage, okay, the right tool for the right job, well, the right product for the right application. But whenever you're going to clean masonry, my suggestion is always start with the mildest detergent first and work your way up. In fact, I'll tell a lot of people, try TSP, which is basically laundry detergent. If that doesn't work, move to something next. And you might go to something like, you've seen it, Simple Green, which is a citric acid based kind of material. The acid not going to hurt the masonry, but it's going to get in there and it may get most of the dirt out that you're looking for. If this doesn't work, we tried milder detergents. We've got a product here called Acid Magic. Works wonders on most masonry. If it's still that stubborn, then you get into some of these others. Vanitrol, for instance, is white brick. This one here, the 600, is more for red brick. That's how specific we can get on masonry cleaners. But picking the right one is the key to the job. What we got today is we're going to show you how to get rid of a little bit of efflorescence, and that's that white material that you see here on the face of this brick. Efflorescence is nothing more than salt. It's not going to hurt the brick or deteriorate the mortar joints, but it is a little unsightly. It's always in concrete, and it usually indicates that there's a moisture issue. So we're going to get rid of that. And then up here on our stone, we've got a little bit of environmental dirt, dirt that's maybe sat up here, worked its way into the stone, and we're going to use we're going to try the Acid Magic on that one. And on the efflorescence here, we've actually got a very special efflorescence cleaner to get it out. So, first thing we have to do, we have to get our safety tools. We want to have our goggles on, our glasses on, and get our rubber gloves. All right, well, we're going to start with our efflorescence cleaner. I have tried this out on a small patch area, so I know this is the product that I want to use as per the manufacturer's recommendations. So I mixed up a small bucket over here, and I've got my Tampico brush. I never want to use a metal brush when I'm cleaning masonry. One, it has a tendency to want to scratch the masonry, and two, whatever the product we're using, the acids in the product sometimes will eat the metal on the rust, and it might leave rust stains. So I'm going to use a soft bristle brush, but the first thing I have to do is I have to wet my masonry down. Not hard, just get it a little bit wet, and that fills all the voids of the masonry and allows the material that I'm using, in this case this efflorescence cleaner, to do its job on the surface and not soak into the brick. Now the one thing I got to be careful about is once I start, I got to keep going. I don't want to let the material dry on the masonry. I'm working in a small area. I'm not trying to do the entire back wall. I tell people a 4x4 area is about as good an area as you really want to work on at any one time. And if I was doing a tall wall, I would start at the top and work my way down. So we'll let it sit for maybe, 10 to 15 seconds, do its job, okay? Now I do want to be careful about things like the metal. Took off my metal air intake cover over here because I didn't want the acid to get on it, maybe possibly pit it. So now that we let it sit for a couple of seconds, just take our hose and we want to rinse it off. One thing we never want to do on masonry is we never want to use a high pressure sprayer. We've all got those little machines we bought, and it's great for cleaning the pool or getting things out of the grooves of the house or washing the side of the house, but we never want to use that on masonry. It'll only drive the dirt deeper into the voids of the brick. So now we've got our cleaned masonry. I see I got a little bit here that might be the white of the brick because I got white in my brick. I may have to do a second coat or a second application later on, but looks like about 95% of it's all gone. That's the safest way to clean masonry. Next, we're gonna move to how we clean bluestone. So now we're getting ready, we're gonna clean this bluestone hearth. And I picked a product, it's called Acid Magic. It's a great all-purpose masonry type cleaner. It can go on brick, it can go on stones. It's not too abrasive, not too harmful if you misuse it, and it's very safe. So we're gonna give this a try. I've done it on a small test area. I know that it's gonna work. So we're gonna do the same, kind of the same thing as we did with the efflorescence cleaner. We're gonna pre-wet our masonry first, again, to fill all the pores of the stone so that the acid will sit on the top. And then once we've done that, we're gonna take our material and we're gonna work it into the stone. And so as I was saying, I'm using a Tampico. I don't wanna ever use a metal brush because metal has a tendency to wanna scratch masonry or react with the chemicals and it can leave actually rust stains. So I'm getting it worked in real good. So I've rinsed off our bluestone hearth. It looks like I may have to do it 1 or 2 more times to get some of that really ground in dirt. I mean, that dirt looks like it had been there for quite a long time, and it will take me a couple of applications. But now you know the correct way to apply a masonry cleaner and how to determine what might be the right one for you.